Welcome to From the Baseline with Premier Basketball. This is a Worldwide Hoops edition, and I am Mark Williams, the Global Scout for Premier Basketball Report. And we appreciate you tuning in. We got a great show for you. We're going to interview 2022 Charlise Dunn from Australia. We're going to talk about her when she got introduced to basketball, the development path for her and her time at the Center of Excellence and playing with Basketball Australia. And she's a great young lady, and so really looking forward to that interview. And then after the interview, we're going to talk about some dates. FIBA has put out their Europe dates, and we're going to look at Europe dates for next year, under 20s and 18s and 16s. And then we're going to look at some South Pacific dates for Australia and New Zealand. So if you're a college coach and recruit internationally, want to know when the events are, get you a pen and paper. But before we get to the dates, we're going to sit down with 2022 Charlise Dunn from Australia. So right after this break, she will join us. So stay tuned.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Athlete Vision Sports presents the most advanced new recruiting engine on the market today. Athlete Vision records all your big tournaments on high-definition video. You can show your A game to a nationwide audience, create your own player profile, or upload your own highlight videos. College recruiters have instant access to your tournament videos. Let Athlete Vision catapult you to the next level. Sign up for Athlete Vision today.
Hey, welcome back to the break, and I am honored to be joined by 2022 Charlise Dunn from Australia, the land down under. My favorite place to go. If I went in the United States, I would definitely be living in Australia. So how are you today, Charlise?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Now I know it's early in the morning. You got training. I appreciate you taking some time to visit with us. But hey, so right now you're at the COE. You've had experience playing for Basketball Victoria, Basketball Australia, and basketball's been a big part of your life, and we'll go more into that. But at what age did you get introduced to basketball?
I think I started playing in year 4, so I think I was 10 years old when I actually started. But it's kind of just been a part of my life a bit longer. My dad and brother used to always play together in the front yard, so I played it for a long time.
Nice. So does your brother still play?
Just in a local domestic league, yeah.
Local domestic league. So are you the oldest or the youngest?
Oldest. My brother is 15.
He's 15. Okay. And back in Melbourne there?
Yeah, back home in Melbourne, yeah.
Back home. So, well, awesome. Now, you got introduced about 4th grade, the age of 10. Was it just a regular rec league there, or?
Just playing locally, and then about a year after I started playing locally, I just got introduced to rep, and then that led on to everything else. So yeah.
Now, for all the Americans who don't know what rep is, what's rep?
So domestic is like the lowest league, I guess. You're just playing for your local team. It's a bit of fun, and then from domestic teams, they pick a rep team which plays. It's like the league under a state team, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. So put in American terms, like when you're a young kid just playing and you're playing like at the Y or the City League, right? And so there in Australia, you have big gyms that has a big associations that serves the community in a certain area. And so then from that league, the rep team is like the all-star team picked from there, and you represent that association or that club in essence at different competitions and stuff. And then from there, from your rep, you can move up and play Big V and Basketball Victoria and the high performance program. So when did you get invited to the Basketball Victoria high performance program?
So I'd been doing just development camps with Basketball Victoria since like under 12s, and then it would have been about 4 years ago that I was invited, I think, into the high performance program, or maybe 3 years ago, into what was called NITP. Right. So just like a state development program. There used to be only 24 kids in it, and then from that 24, they'd pick a state team.
Right. And y'all do trainings and you come together and you got Vic Metro and Vic Country and
Yeah,
you
separate.
get to represent either the inner city like Melbourne area. That's what first time when I was like, oh, Vic Country, man, y'all must like be out there in the country. And I'm like, no, like you're like 30 minutes that way outside of Melbourne. Like you're really
Yeah,
not
they're just
far.
not metro. Yeah.
Yeah. Metro is like metro.
Yeah, it
So,
is. Yeah.
and then country is like the surrounding outside cities and stuff there. So
Yeah.
tells you how many people are in Metro Melbourne. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Absolutely.
us.
So you said about 3 years ago. So you were under 14.
Yeah.
15, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think under, or maybe bottom age under 16s. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 3 years ago.
I remember seeing you bottom age under 16s. I believe it was in Perth, I think.
No, I was in Sunshine Coast the year after.
Sunshine Coast. Yeah, there you go. I remember that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was there. And then yes, absolutely. So it was cool to wear basketball Victoria and then you just now went to the COE this year.
Yeah.
You had an opportunity the year before.
Yeah, I did 6 months earlier. Yeah.
Right. So why did you choose to come 6 months later as opposed to coming 6 months earlier?
Yeah, so the first offer came halfway through year 10, and like me and my family, we all just thought it would be best if I stayed back home because I was 15 at the time as well. They thought it'd just be better if I wait until start of year 11, I'd be 16, instead of going halfway through the year as well. So they just really wanted me to finish my school year at my old school.
That would probably be my vote too if it was my daughter.
Yeah.
It's tough to break up a year, but also, 15-year-old moving away from home.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you're living in dorms,
Yeah.
you're living in dorms where boys are there too. And, all kinds of stuff that Charlie's like, yeah, that's not that big of a deal.
No,
for dad, it is. For dad, it is.
Yeah.
And that's a huge responsibility. And it was an honor that you got invited so young.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I think it was also wise to say, hey, let's just wait 6 months. Like, let's pump the brakes a little bit and let you get grade 10. And you only have 2 years there. So you do grade 11 and grade 12 there. So.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Cool. Now, let's talk about COE. Because COE is different. Like from the States, most people don't recognize what the COE is. It is an invite-only select program there in Australia that they invite their top players at under 18 to come there and get great training with Kristen Veal and her staff there, and you get conditioning and athletic training and really what it is a training facility for Olympians and future Olympians. And so, the kind of projection there is that, hey, that's who these young ladies that we're picking to come in, and we project them to have a chance to be opals, and a really good chance to be opals. And so, share a little bit about your experience. What does an average day look like at the COE?
An average day. So, we train pretty much every day. So depending on the day, we'll have maybe weights in the morning, maybe like 6:30 or 7 for an hour and a half-ish. And then, so weights in the morning, then we go off to school for a few hours, depending on the day, depends on how many hours we're at school. Then we'll come back, we might have an indie with the coach or maybe like an indie with 2 or 3 players, just a group session.
An indie, you mean like an individual session, like an individual?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
No, you're good. I just got to make all of us Americans aren't going to get the lingo. I get it,
okay.
But I'm sorry.
Yeah, so after school we might have an individual and then maybe 2 hours of team practice after that as well. So, and then also we've got study hall 3 times a week. Yeah, 3 times a week for an hour and a half.
Right. Now, the COE doesn't have a school technically. Like there's not teachers and stuff there. Where do you attend school while you're at the COE?
We go to Lake Ginninderra College, so it's just a year 11 and 12 high school only, like 5 minutes away. So yeah, it's good. It's just 5-minute drive away.
Oh, nice. So all the players on your team go to that school.
All bar one at the moment who's graduated last year, but yeah, everyone who goes to school goes to that school.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break. And during this break, you're going to get to see some highlights here of Charlise and see what type of player. And when we come back, we're going to talk about, playing for Basketball Australia, putting on the green and gold jersey, right? We're going to talk a little bit of recruiting and just learn a little bit more about Charlise. So, hey, stick with us. Enjoy these highlights. Hey, welcome back from the break. Hope you enjoyed those highlights of 2022 Charlise Dunn. In the highlights, you got to see some of her action from Australia under 18 junior championships and from Basketball Australia. Let's talk junior championships and we'll get to you able to represent Australia. Now, you played for Vic Metro, and Vic Metro alone to make that team is very, very competitive. What did it mean for you to be able to represent Basketball Victoria Metro?
Yeah, no, it was definitely an honor. Growing up in under 12s, under 14s, going to the camps, being able to watch the older girls who would make like the under 16s or under 18 state teams, they were definitely someone that I wanted to be like. I really wanted to be in their position when I grew up. So yeah, it was definitely an honor being able to represent my state.
Awesome. Yeah. And now you also got to represent Basketball Australia. Share with everybody what events you've been able to play in.
So I was at the under 15s Oceania in Papua New Guinea in 2018 and the under 17s Oceania last year in New Caledonia. I was in the under 16s Asia qualifiers, but that didn't go ahead. And then under 17 Worlds didn't go ahead either.
Right. And unfortunately, with the whole COVID-19, the under 16 Asian qualifiers were supposed to be back in April. And they had to cancel those. And unfortunately, they had to cancel the under 17 Worlds, which is one of my favorite events every year, every 2 years, because unfortunately it is every 2 years. And so, but, you know, those two events, there's one thing about putting on Basketball Victoria's uniform, and that's special in itself. But it was different about putting on the emerald and the gold and putting that on. And you always do a cool thing. It's a tradition there in Australia. Like when you get your uniforms, there's like a ceremony in essence that somebody else who's played there comes and gives it to you the first time that you get to wear it and play. Who was that gave you your uniform? Do you remember?
It was in Papua New Guinea, so I know I think we just had like a little ceremony just with the group, just with the team that we had there. Okay. So we just got given it by the coaching staff, but yeah, so it wasn't quite the same, but
it wasn't quite. I know a lot of times that happens in Australia. What did it mean to you to be able to put on the emerald and gold?
It was really cool. It was definitely an honor, something, I think everyone wants to represent their country. So, and also being able to do it because I was just 15 at the time, the first time. So it was really cool. Great experience, and hopefully I can do it again. So,
had you ever been to Papua New Guinea or New Caledonia?
No, I've never been overseas except for those 2 trips. So
awesome.
It's cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Those are really cool places. Hey, now let's talk a little bit of recruiting. I know you're talking to numerous colleges, and as a 22, your phone is ringing, and now they can call 22 junior year, grade 11 and stuff. What are you enjoying most in the recruiting process?
I think just getting to know like all the people. They're all really cool as well. Obviously from Australia, I didn't really know, I didn't really know too much about college. So just learning everything and, how big it is over there, and it's just really cool. It's exciting. Yeah.
Awesome. What are you looking for in a university?
I think just obviously a good basketball program. That has to be, that's a big thing. Academics as well. I know my dad would not want me going to a school which isn't high in academics.
Right.
And then, just a really good relationship between players and players and the coaches. That's really important as well.
Cool. Do you know what you want to study?
Not 100% yet, but I'm interested in possibly psychology, maybe like sports psychology or something, or business. So
awesome.
Not sure, but yeah, something like that.
You're still young. You got time to figure that out. Absolutely. So, hey, last question. This is kind of a fun question.
Okay.
Do you have a hidden talent? Something that nobody knows? You practice in your room, you got a hidden talent?
I don't know if it's a hidden talent. I can juggle, if that counts. Yeah.
Now there's a teammate of yours, Jade Melbourne.
Yeah.
Who tells me she can juggle too.
I can probably juggle better, but
well, we may have to see video of this, of you challenging each other in a juggling contest. I want to see that.
Okay, I'll make it happen.
Yeah, make that happen. You hear this right now, Jay? She's calling you out on the juggling there. Let's go. Awesome. Well, cool. Well, hey, we appreciate your time and thank you for taking time this morning. I know you got training here here in a little bit, so you got up a little early for
Thank
us. We
you.
appreciate that. So, hey, stay with us. After this break, we're going to wrap up the show, but we appreciate this 2022 Charlise Dunn from Australia taking time to join us this morning. So stay with us after this break. Hey, welcome back after the break. Big thanks goes out to 2022 Charlise Dunn from Australia for taking the time. I know it was early for her to sit down with us and share a little bit about her path in basketball and talk about, what she's looking for in a college. And so hope you enjoyed that interview and checked out our highlights there for us. So we appreciate her jumping on with us. But hey, this past week or so, FIBA put out their dates for 2021. And so I thought it'd be a good time to look at dates there for 2021. If you missed those for Europe, we're also going to look at some dates in Australia and New Zealand. But let's start out in New Zealand. They canceled, usually their under 19s is in June, and then their under 17s and under 15 reps are all in July. And because of COVID, they had to cancel that. And unfortunately, they had to cancel their secondary school championships, that is usually into September, early October. But what they've done is they've rescheduled their reps under 17s and under 15s for this year. And those dates, it's going to be the same weekend. It's going to be October 24th through the 26th. The under 17s is going to be in Christchurch, which is on the South Island, which many great facilities there and a great place to host. The under 15s will be that exact same weekend, October 27th through the 26th, is going to be in Auckland. And so really a good view there for the future of basketball there in New Zealand. Usually for their under 17 kids are usually 2 or 3 years removed from coming over to attend a university because students graduate in 13 years there in New Zealand. And so there'll be some live stream. Usually there's live stream of like the semifinals and finals games. So most definitely some players there to check out. The other thing is staying in the South Pacific is Australia. Australia's under 20s are going to be February 10th through the 14th. Now this is 2021, but the 10th through the 14th of February, it's going to be in Canberra at the Australian Institute of Sports and their facilities there. And they have the capabilities of live streaming, stuff like that. And really a good spot if you're looking for a kid late, and there's going to be some still available. And if you're a PBR Global subscriber, we'll make sure you get a report before that event on who's still available and who to make sure and check out there. But probably the best event in Australia from a recruiting standpoint is the under 18s. And that in 2021 is going to be April 10th through the 17th in Werribee. Werribee is outside of Melbourne. So if you fly into Melbourne, it's just probably about an hour and a half drive west of Melbourne. So that's always a great event, and great to see those kids typically are 1 or 2 years removed from coming over to a campus there in the United States. And so a great event. If you're wanting to recruit international kids, that is the one event that you need to put on your schedule there. And then staying in Australia, their under 16 championships will be July 4th through the 11th in Perth. And so it's there in July. Perth's a great place to host, one of my favorite places to travel. And it's really a great time. It's their winter, but it's nice and cool. I remember a couple years ago when we were there, taking morning walks on the beach in a sweatshirt and shorts. But a lot of cool stuff there. If you do get to go to Perth, hey, go out to Koala Island. Just a boat ride off, you can see koalas in their national habitat. And so really, really a cool opportunity there. But the under 16s, you really get to see the future of Australian basketball that's going to be coming up in the next couple of years. So, but let's turn our attention to Europe. FIBA put out their dates for the European Championships, and the under 20s are going to be at the same time, A and B, July 3rd through the 11th. Now, they haven't picked the host countries yet and host sites yet, but those are going to be they're the 3rd through the 11th. The under 16s, the A is going to be July 24th through August 1st. And what they've done, under 18s and under 16s, is every host country that hosted in 2020 or was supposed to, that got canceled, they gave them the option to host in 2021. And for all the under 18s and under 16s, all those countries chose to host since they had it all prepared. And so the under 18s, like I said, July 24th through August 1st is going to be in Greece. The under 18 Bs are going to be July 23rd through August 1st. And that's going to be in Austria. And so in Overwart and Güssing, those cities have hosted a couple times European Championships. And then the under 18 Cs, it's going to be July 27th through August 1st in Andorra. The under 16s, which is one of my favorite European Championships, is the under 16 is going to be August 6th through the 14th in Portugal. And that's a great site where they've hosted multiple times there. And then the under 16 Bs is going to be August 5th through the 14th in Sarajevo. And so college coaches can get over and spend a couple days at the A, a couple days at the B, like they can do with the under 18s. So, and then the under 16 Cs is going to be July 13th through the 18th in Gibraltar. And so those are dates. Make sure as you're looking possibly to take some visits, international recruiting, those are dates that are important to know and have circled around and to make sure and see, so you can see the kids live. I know as college coaches and recruiters, we love the opportunity to see them live. Game film is good, but it's nothing beats seeing them live. And so make sure and have those dates penciled in on your calendar and look forward to seeing you on the road at some of those events as we can. But if you got any questions about those events, feel free to reach out and stuff. And we appreciate 2022 Charlise Dunn hopping on with us. Check out our highlights. Really a quality player as you're looking to recruit internationally, especially Australia. It's a player that you need to know. And so we appreciate her coming on. And hope all is well with everyone in this crazy world, and practices are getting back together and the season is soon upon us. So we look forward to seeing some high quality basketball. For Mark Williams and Premier Basketball, we're coming to you from the baseline. Appreciate you tuning in.